What influenced your decision to take up the mandate of sponsoring athletics in this year's second cycle GES Sporting Festival?
Well, children are the future. Our bank believes in the youth as being the future of the country. It's our greatest human resource as a country. And even in our banking, we invest in people. So for us, it was an obvious place to start sponsoring.
And why only athletics?
Well, that is one of the first endeavors that any person in their growth development engages in, sport. Even as a toddler, you start running, you start playing. And I believed, and my board believes, that it's a very important place to start from because it helps to inculcate the best values in the child so he grows up to be a good individual and a member of society.
We have about 8 different disciplines, but you took up only athletics. That's what I'm asking. Why did you pick only athletics?
It's a good start. It's a fundamental and basic start. Taking up sports that require much more additional skill might tend to exclude many more children than we want to. So we wanted to start at a point where we had a broad base of as many children as possible to touch their lives positively. I mean, obviously, if we had gone into football or tennis, automatically, by virtue of certain factors, a lot of kids will be excluded. We don't want to do that at the beginning. We want a broad base to build up from later.
What were these factors you looked through and you realized that taking a broader picture or other sporting disciplines will exclude others? What were some of the factors that you considered?
Well, like I said, I mean, children start their lives by having fun and running. Children start their lives by having fun and jumping. So the natural progression from that is children will start by competing in their running, competing in their jumping. And that was the idea and focus that we took to make sure that we bring in as many as possible from the beginning.
So how much is HFC putting into this?
We're putting in a lot of time and effort. We have spent an inordinate amount of money, but money has not been the objective. So we have not been concerned with any financial constraints. But as you can see, we have made sure that we provide the articles of clothing and the utensils for the sport for full enjoyment of the kids. And as time goes along, I believe, as we see the results, as we see the implementation of the Ghana Education Service, of the things we give, we will certainly increase what we are doing.
Approximately, how much did it cost HFC Bank to have all this?
Well, I can't say exactly how much. And like I say, money is not the object. Money is not the object of everything. The value and the effect of the gift is what counts. And that's what we consider. We've spent enough, but we are willing to spend much more.
Spending much more. So will you spend on basketball? Will you spend on football? Will you spend on badminton and other sporting disciplines?
Well, absolutely. I mean, and I think it's important for you to remember also that what we are doing here is we are setting an example. We are not the only institution that has a corporate social responsibility, but we've taken up an initiative and we've gone into an area that is very often overlooked, the children, the most important asset of our country's future. We are doing this as an encouragement to others to follow our example, to join us, and to invest in the most important asset of our country. So I'm sure we'll get to basketballs, footballs, tennis rackets, and what have you. By that time, others might have followed our good example, and we'll be wearing other hats for the children.
Considering what you're saying, should the FA come to you and say, HFC, we want you to take over the sponsorship of the Ghana Premier League, will you do that?
Well, I mean, I will have to put it to my board and we'll have to see just how financially we might be able to do that.
I'm very good.
I'm not going to give you a firm answer on that here.